Williams let the flyby go. Back down three. Oklahoma City down 15-0 to start has come back. Third quarter for the Thunder. They're most in the third quarter this postseason. And the bench doing it again.
Trouble making my teammates better right now. I need to be more of a team player.
Down 15 to start. The Thunder win by 15 and take a 2-1 series lead.
Game 4 NBA Western Conference Finals. Thunder Spurs coming up tonight. OKC leads the series 2-1 so far this series. The Thunder bench has outscored the Spurs bench by 119 points. The OKC bench has scored 50 or more points in each of the first 3 games of this Western Conference Finals. We said good morning to NBA reporter Tim MacMahon. Tim, the Thunder's depth has been a huge part of their success, not only in this playoffs, but the entire season. What do you make of how OKC has constructed this roster around their back-to-back MVP?
Howdy, Jay. Look, this is the deepest team in the league. I mean, J.J. Redick in the last series was basically bemoaning the Thunder's depth. So they've got 13 guys who were top 7 or top 8 players on any of the roster in the NBA. And you can look at the bench scoring as evidence of that, especially without Jalen Williams, their arguably second best player. The other thing, though, to really look at is the defensive impact that this depth has had. They are throwing guys, they're throwing different bodies, fresh bodies, at Victor Wembanyama, at Stephon Castle, at the Spurs' primary guys. And, as Chet Holmgren said, we're not just throwing fresh bodies to, for the sake of it, just to have fresh legs on Victor Wembanyama. In Holmgren's words, the dudes coming in the game are dudes. I mean, it's Alex Caruso. It's Jalen Williams, Jay Will, who hit 5 threes in the last game. I mean, guys like Cason Wallace, an all defensive team player coming off the bench. The Thunder, they just come at you in waves, and that depth has definitely been a factor in this series, in this playoff run, wearing down the San Antonio Spurs.
And in case anyone's forgotten, OKC has the 12th pick in the upcoming NBA draft, so another dude is on the way. Both OKC and San Antonio.
And 17th.
yes, indeed. Hey, both OKC and San Antonio are dealing with injuries heading into Game 4 tonight. What do you have on that?
Well, the depth's taken a little bit of a hit. A.J. Mitchell, who was, fifth place in the Sixth Man of the Year voting, fill-in starter for Jalen Williams, will not play. He has a calf strain, a soleus strain. That's probably going to knock him out for at least the rest of the series. We'll see about Jalen Williams, J-Dub, their star wing. He is again listed as questionable with left hamstring soreness. That, of course, is the hamstring that sidelined him for 6 games earlier these playoffs. He wasn't close to playing in Game 3, despite being listed as questionable. Now, the Spurs had a blank injury report. That does not mean they are completely healthy. De'Aaron Fox is managing that high ankle sprain on his right leg. Dylan Harper is dealing with the adductor soreness. He certainly was not the same player in Game 3 that he was in Game 1 and Game 2 before he got hurt. And, as Mitch Johnson said, Victor Wembanyama creates the advantages for the Spurs. Typically, those advantages are exploited by their guards, but 2 of their 3 guards are nowhere close to 100%.
Spurs are 2.5-point favorites heading.
Williams let the flyby go. Back down 3. Oklahoma City down 15-0 to start has come back. Third quarter for the Thunder. They're most in the third quarter this postseason. And the bench doing it again.
Trouble making my teammates better right now. I need to be more of a team player.
Down 15 to start. The Thunder win by 15 and take a 2-1 series lead.
PJ Carlesimo will continue to be on the call for Game 4 of the Western Conference Final on ESPN Radio. He's our coach, and he's with us on SportsCenter this morning. We see Victor Wembanyama in that montage, Coach. I know we had to watch it. You had to listen to it, but it was the Thunder bench who really drew the attention in Game 3. They scored 76 points. What jumps out to you as you've watched that unit through the first 3 games of the series?
Randy, they've been unbelievable. They're averaging over 60 points a game. Bench points, the leader this year averaged 46, and they're doing it with multiple players. Alex Caruso's arguably been their best player in the playoffs. He's shooting over 60% from the field. Cason Wallace with the steals all the time. Jared McCain's probably the biggest surprise. Jalen Williams gets a chance to play, and he goes 5 for 6 from the three-point line. Jared McCain, you wouldn't even have talked about him, and he's got the third most points for the Thunder in this series. They had 4 guys in double figures, Rand, back-to-back games. That hasn't happened since 1971 in the playoffs. Yeah. Over 60 points a game from the bench is incredible.
Coach, you can't be in the game for decades without having ties to both of these teams. You were an assistant coach for the Spurs with Coach Greg Popovich. You won 3 titles between 2003 and 2007. Then you're the first coach for the Thunder franchise. So as a coach looking at this, what would be your game plan to try and contain the all-world player that is Victor Wembanyama?
Gary, I'm lucky I didn't have to come up with a game plan for this. But I mean, with Victor, all you can do, you have to be physical with him, first of all, with any great player, he or SGA. You got to give him different looks. Victor's problem is just what you're seeing. He can block shots. He can shoot threes. He can put the ball on the floor and score inside. He can score against fouls. He finishes inside. He's an excellent rebounder. When he posts up, and they've given him different looks. You saw him there against Caruso. Hartenstein did a very good job in game 2. Chet Holmgren a better job in game 3. So mix up the looks. Get Victor as far away from the basket as you can. Even if he shoots threes, yes, he can make threes, but that's better than him at the rim. So as many different looks and as physical as you can be with Victor is hopefully gives you a chance.
Keep his scoring out of the paint. Meanwhile, there's SGA, coach, who's coming off of that 26-point performance in Game 3 as the MVP is starting to get hot at a good time for the Thunder. If you're on the Spurs bench, take us back to those days. What would your game plan be to try to slow down the MVP?
Well, again, a back-to-back MVP. The problem is, Rand, he can also pass the ball. He's a very unselfish player. You want him to go right if you can. That's his patented move right there, going left. He shot just under 40% from the 3 in the regular season. So that's not an answer either. There's the pass. There's Cason Wallace. That bench stepping up again. You got to keep him off the free throw line. He led the league in the regular season. Free throws made. He's leading in the playoffs, free throws made. Again, give him different looks, be physical with him, and try and make other people beat you. But so far, that's been a problem for San Antonio because the other people for OKC are beating them.
That's Coach taking us to school, taking us to class, and you can listen to more of the Coach. Game 4 between the Thunder and Spurs tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio. PJ Carlesimo joining us this morning on SportsCenter. Coach, much appreciated.
Well, the Brunson burner got off to a slow burn in the first half against the Cavs. In fact, Brunson had just 9 points, 3 of 6 from the field. This is the third quarter, mid-ranged. Yep. Knicks were up 11. Then in the third, baseline jumper again over James Harden. Oh, it was cooking now. They were up 13 at this point. And then Brunson, that flame was scorching hot. Knicks were up 19 and rolling. Then 5 seconds left in the third. Brunson, Mitchell throw it down. Brunson scored or assisted on 14 points in the third quarter after just 13 in the first half. He would finish with a game-high 30 on the night. In the fourth, it was the role players. How about Landry Shamet? I mean, he came off the bench, knocking down threes left and right. Knicks were rolling. Then a minute later, Shamet, again, step back. Again, over Harden. 11 points off the bench in the fourth. And then Brunson just put him away. Look at this defense. I mean, the Cavs packed it in. They're like, yo, we're going to Cancun. We go. Knicks win at 121-108. Take a 3-0 series lead. Brunson with 30. And the bad news for the Cavs in NBA history, no team has ever come back to win a best-of-7 series in the playoffs after trailing 3-0. This is Donovan Mitchell's first time in the Eastern Conference Finals. Here he is on the lesson he's learned thus far.
Don't lose game 1 after being up 22. Changes the entire dynamic of the series. And you got to give credit. They're up 3-0, right? Like, they've beaten us 3 times. So I'm not saying that, but No, I don't feel like we're overmatched. I think we just have to find a way. And like I said, I hate to harp on it, but like we were up 22, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's on us. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's on everyone in this locker room. We know that, we feel that, and we have an opportunity on Monday to get game 4 and then go from there.
NBA analyst Quentin Richardson with us. Donovan said he hated to harp on it, but he brought it up twice, the blown lead in game 1. What's your reaction to what he said there?
Man, OG, I feel like that game 1 was a soul snatcher for the Cavs. It's proven that they haven't been able to recover from it. Like you said, he mentioned it twice, and I think it really sticks out that when you lose those type of games, when it happened, I was waiting to see the response in game 2, like, can they recover? But in my mind, after they lost that lead and lost the way they lost in game 1, I felt like that was the series right there. But I wanted to give it its just due and just, see how it played out. But everything leads to that game snatched their soul. It took the whole series away and it put them in a bad way to where they can't recover from it.
The Knicks going for the sweep Monday night right here on ESPN. Let's shift to the Western Conference, sir. OKC has been very physical with Victor Wembanyama this series. What adjustments can the Spurs make to make his life a little easier on the defensive end and get him more involved in that offense?
I think they need to get him closer to the basket. I mean, obviously, OKC is doing everything they can and all the actions to keep him as far away from the basket as they can. But I think with all the movement, I know this new generation, this new era, they pride everything on space and movement. But if I'm them, I get him close and I post him up a few times. Like right now, they've been playing him with the Carusos and J-Dubs and Lou Dorts and smaller people. And lately, they put Chet and Hardenstein on him. But regardless, he's bigger than everybody. I would still get him closer to the basket and closer to the paint to try and get him some easy looks inside to open the game up for him.
Go a little old school. Put the tall man on the block and see what happens.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, OG. You know what I'm talking about,
I know exactly what you're talking about. A huge game 4 tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Quentin Richardson, thank you, brother.